Hey guys, so a quick YouTube video today, as this is always how I do YouTube videos. I wanted to obviously, excuse me, do a little bit of vlogging whilst I was out here. And to be honest, when I get out and I like start doing it and I start realizing like, okay, I've got to carry the camera, okay, I've got to film this, I've got to do that, I've got to sort of, make sure that I set it up before I do a set, or I've got to, go somewhere and film this. And then I realized, I'm like, fuck that. I actually really just want to enjoy myself and take on board the experience that I'm having. So actually take it in, which I find a lot of people actually find difficult to take in an experience when they're in the experience. So many people are just so like lost in filming what they're doing and sharing what they're doing that they actually forget to enjoy the experience and actually experience the experience. So for me, coming out to LA, Miami, etc., it's an experience. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm going to go into more details as to why I'm doing it, and obviously the main title of the video, jeez, my chest looks ginormous, that tissue regain, but the reason why I wanted to make this video is obviously because a lot of people, the primary question that I was getting when I came out was, why are you traveling on your own, or are you traveling on your own, or do you travel on your own? And that was the question I was getting, and it almost came across to me as a bit of a surprise that I was getting that question as to this not being normal. And then I thought about it, and the reality is not many people do this. Not many people do travel on their own. So what I wanted to really put across to you guys is that why I'm traveling on my own and why I'm doing this, and yes, the reality of traveling on your own. So I've always wanted to come to the States, and when I got invited out to Boston, that was my first experience. New York was my second experience, and it was exactly what it lived up to be. I've always, when I was a kid, I remember vividly seeing my friends and their families go out to the States and being a bit jealous. I must admit, when I was a kid, I was a bit jealous, but I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, one day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to set myself in a position where I can do it myself. And either I'll go, with my family, which at the moment isn't feasible, which is upsetting for me because I'd have loved to have brought some of my family out here with me. Besides my sister, she sucks. No, I'm joking. But I would have brought out, some of my family with me. I would have liked to have done that. But for the most part, I've always wanted to do this. It's been a goal of mine to take myself somewhere and to experience it. And I'm a very routine guy. I love my routine. I love what I do on a day-to-day basis. And for me, I'm very content with my own company. I've travelled with girlfriends in the past. I've travelled with friends in the past. And I like it. I enjoy the company. But I'm very content with just going on my own. I'm very content with deciding when I leave my hotel room. Deciding if I've got to, today, I probably won't leave my hotel room much. Reality of that is I've still got a job. I've still got a coach. I've still got to put out content. And for me, it's very important that I can have an adaptive routine. And when you're traveling with someone like a friend or a girlfriend or whatever, they might not have that, the ability for, other people to take the bulk of time that I've taken away from being in the UK, to take that off work is not feasible for most. They'd have to go in, a period of time where they could get that kind of time off. And that would be costly as well. There would be a lot of earnings potentially lost if they weren't booking it off as holiday. So for me, it's really important that I do this for me, and I really experience it the way that I want to experience it. And that's, training my absolute balls off in Gold's Gym, trying every single machine and spending a lot of time in there, and then, going and eating sushi and trying different food groups, but at the same time, having a lot of meals that are just very boring and bland and cooked in my hotel room. Hence why I either go to Airbnbs or hotel rooms. That was another question I got asked online. It's like, well, do you stay in Airbnbs or do you stay in hotel rooms? I stay in both. So for this trip, I've done two Airbnbs and one hotel room. To be fair, like most people think, oh my god, hotel room very expensive. This hotel room cost me the same as an apartment for an Airbnb for a week. And this hotel room is basically an apartment. It's got a kitchen. It's got a microwave. It's got hobs. It's got cooking facilities. There's a shop round the corner. There's a gym. You know, it's like, boom. Obviously, I don't train in the gym. Of course not. I just do, you know, steps in there or cardio or whatever. So yeah, for the most part, you control your environment, guys, and like you control whether you want to do shit like this. You don't ever place limitations on what you can and can't do. Like, I put up a post on my Instagram saying that, you know, when I was like 14, 15 years old, I was scared to be at home on my own. I was a really scared kid. I really was. I remember vividly, like, there was a long time period where I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't go to sleep without the TV on, without a light on. So I was really scared. Genuinely scared of, like, just stuff that I'd cultivate in my mind. Like, what could happen? Could I get robbed? Could I get, you know, taken away? And you hear all these stories, and you just, like, at the end of the day, guys, whatever happens, happens. You know, and just, like, you can put yourself in dangerous environments, of course. So pick hotels, pick Airbnbs. They're already good areas. Don't pick, like, just do your research when you, like, pick a location. And one of my biggest pro tips, if you're someone that feels a little less secure when you travel and you're a bit worried, book hotels. Book hotels. You'll feel 10 times safer. Why? Because when you're in an Airbnb, you are essentially living in an environment. If you're on your own, it's like moving into a house that in a location you've never been to before. And you may well be, depending on the location, a little bit out of the way. So when I was in Miami, I was a little bit out of the way in an Airbnb that I hadn't ever been in before, in an environment, in a cul-de-sac area that I hadn't been in before. Yeah, it was a little bit daunting. If you're in a hotel, you're full of other people that, you know, there's most likely UK travellers here. There's most likely loads of people that you can interact with, you can ask questions, there's a 24-hour concierge, you know, you're very safe in a hotel environment. So if you get nervous or get, you know, a little bit scared about travel, book hotels. But, you know, if you want a sort of feeling of the place and you're going with friends, or if you're going on your own and you want that feeling of a place, book Airbnb, because you'll get the feeling of actually living there as opposed to just being traveling or traveling to a location. So hope this video has been informative, guys, as to sort of why I'm traveling on my own. I know it's totally non-fitness related, apart from the fact that my upper pectorals do look like they've slightly improved as a result of the million incline pressing sets that I've been doing at Gold's Gym. Hope you're all good. I do miss doing the YouTubes. I do miss chatting to the camera. So if you want more of this, give the video a like. If this hits 50 likes, I'll start putting out way more frequent content. Let's see if that happens. Love you lots, guys, and chat soon. Any questions, please ask.